Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'll be fighting a 200-point Commander Kill Team game between my Dark Angels as the Adeptus Astartes and Neil's Tyranids. So the story that we've got going on here is that this force of Primaris Marines has been hunting down a node of Tyranids on this planet that they are trying to clear out. The rest of the Imperial forces on this planet managed to beat back the Tyranid invasion, managing with the help of the Imperial Navy to blow away their bioships in space. But still, a lot of the creatures managed to make their way down here, and the Astartes have been hunting them down. The Primaris Lieutenant leading this group here has been leading this squad through the cavernous hive city here, trying to find where this band of Tyranids was coming from, and has been hunting him down, specifically this Tyranid Prime back over here, who has been holding together this force that has been chewing apart Imperial forces. So he led this around here, and they're going to try to get him and kill him. So that is the story that we've got going on. We are going to be playing the Meeting of Fates mission from the Commander's book. Essentially what it comes down to is we're just trying to kill each other's commanders. So I'm trying to kill his Tyranid Prime. He's trying to kill my my Primaris Lieutenant. So that is the story. That is the mission that we've got going on here. Before we go any further, let's show you the two armies that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running from left to right here. A Primaris Lieutenant with a power sword. I then have a Intercessor Sergeant who will be my leader. I then have a Comm Specialist who is my Intercessor. He will Intercessor there. He will have a Auspex. We then have the Sniper Specialist, who is going to be a Gunner with an Auxiliary Grenade Launcher. We then have a Combat Specialist, who is a Reaver Sergeant with a Combat Knife. We then have a regular Intercessor, two Reavers there with bolt carbines, and two with combat knives. All of the Reavers have grapnel launchers. So the Tyranid kill team from left to right here. We have the Commander, who is a Tyranid Prime with 2 bone swords and a Death Spitter. We have a Lictor, who is the leader. We have a warrior here with a Venom Cannon, who will be his heavy specialist. We have 2 Gene Stealers, who will be specialists here. We have 1 combat, 1 scout. We have 2 more Gene Stealers. We have 6 Termagants with Flesh Borers, and we have 3 Termagants with Devourers. All right, so those are the forces going over deployment now. I've got my Intercessor over here. I've got my Sniper and my Comm Specialist up over here. I've got my leader over here. Up in front there, I've got my Combat Specialist. Behind him, I've got I've got 2 Reavers, one with a carbine, one with a pistol. I've got another carbine back over here. I've got another guy with a pistol up front there. And then I've got my Primaris Lieutenant back behind them over here. So that's deployment for the Adeptus Astartes over here. Going over deployment now for the Tyranids. We've got his warrior up here with the Venom Cannon. We've got a whole bunch of the Gaunts. Down inside here, we've got another Gaunt, as well as his Scout Specialist. We've got his Combat Specialist up front there. We've got the other 2 the Gene Stealers over here. We've got some more of the Gaunts. We've got the Lictor back over here, and we have his Commander back over here. So that is deployment. We will now roll off to see who will have initiative going into turn 1. I rolled a 9, so it will be Dark Angel's turn first. So we'll come back to you after movement phase. All right, movement phase. He readied. These 2 guys readied over here. My leader over here readied. These 3 guys in the middle moved up. He advanced, and he advanced. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Dark Angels here. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here. His Gene Stealer Scout advanced over here. He first rolled a 2 and then re-rolled it into a, because he's the Scout Specialist, allowed him to re-roll, got a 6, and he moved all the way up here. This guy moved over here. These guys all up on here readied themselves. He moved, he advanced up over there. And that is it for those. I guess he readied himself, but he's not going to be shooting anything. So now we're going to have some charges from these Gene Stealers over here. So who are you going to start with?
This one to that guy.
All right. So this one over here is going to charge into my guy over here.
I'm going to need at least an 8.
All right. So I got a line of sight over there with a pistol. So I'm going to shoot, looking for a 6. Show me that fill first. No hit there. So he needs an 8-inch charge. No, does not make it. My opponent's going to re-roll that. So he's going to have to roll both of them. So here we go. Looking for an 8. And he makes it with a 12. All right, so now his combat specialist is going to charge into both my guys over here. Overwatch. Not getting either hit. Here comes his charge distance. Ooh, 3 inches will not get him in.
But he'll need.
And the guy behind him is going to try the same thing.
At least a 7.
No hits there. 7-inch charge, and he's not in. All right, so starting off the shooting phase now, my sniper is going to take the benefits from the comm specialist with the Auspex array and with his comm specialist ability. And he's going to shoot into his gunner over here. So I'm going to have 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 2s because the +1 because of the comm specialist, and ignoring the fact that he is obscured, and with the Auspex array, and then he's going to reroll 1s because he's a sniper specialist. So that's going to be 2 hits, wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound, AP -1. So 5 up. Oh, and he makes it.
And they do move.
All right, so now he is going to shoot with this guy over here into this guy here. He's obscured and more than half range, so it's going to be hitting on 6. No hits there. Now my comm specialist is going to fire into his gunner over here. I'm going to have 2 shots. He's obscured there, so he's going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit, wounding on a 4. That is not a wound. Fleshbore guy number 2 is going to fire into him over here. Again, 6s. Getting 1 hit. Strength 4, so 4 to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing. 3 up save. No, it goes through. He takes a wound. And now my guy here is going to fire into his gunner. That is 1 hit. That is no wound. And the third guy with Devourer is going to shoot into my guy over here. Hitting on 6s. No hits. And now my leader here is going to fire into his combat specialist down over there. That is 2 hits. That is no wound. All right, so now his dude bro here, his gunner, is going to fire into this guy over here. So it's D3 assault shots. Assault D3 shots. So he's going to have 1 shot. This is going to be hitting on a 5 because he's obscured. That is a hit. Strength 8, so looking for a 2 to wound. That is a wound. AP -1 second. All right, it's -2, so this is going to be looking for a 5 up save. No, it goes through, so D3 wounds. 1 wound, so that's still enough to take him down there, see if he is knocked out of action. Injury roll. He is. All right, so now my guy down here is going to fire into his combat specialist with his bolt carbine. 2 shots, hitting on, he is obscured over there, so it's going to be 2 shots, hitting on 4s. That is going to be 2 hits. We're looking for 4s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. Saves. 5 up saves. Making 1, failing 1. Is he out of action? On a 2, no, he takes a flesh wound. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. No, still a flesh wound. All right, so now he's gone here. He's going to shoot into my lieutenant over here. He is within 6 inches, and he is not obscured from his fire over here. So these are he's going to have, how many shots? 1 shot. He's going to spend a CP on Scorch Bugs. So he's going to add 1 to the wound. All right, he's going to add 1 to the wound roll. So it's going to be 1 shot, hitting on a 4 because he's within half range and not obscured. That is a hit. Strength 4. So this is going to be wounding on a 1 second. All right, yeah, strength 4, toughness 4. So he would be wounding on 4s, but because of Scorch Bug, wounding on a 3. No wound. And then my other guy with the carbine is going to fire into his combat specialist. 2 shots, hitting on 4s because he's obscured. That is 1 hit. That is not a wound. And now the guy down here, the Termagon's is going to shoot into my front Reaver over there. So that's going to be 1 shot, hitting on a 4. That's a hit, wounding on a 4. That is not a wound. And then my lieutenant's going to shoot into his combat specialist with the bolt pistol. Not a hit. All right, and then his other guy there is going to shoot into my combat specialist. 1 shot. That is going to be a hit. That That is not a wound. All right, so into the fight phase. He's going to have his guy who charged first. That's 3 attacks from his Gene Stealer into my Reaver, hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit, wounding on a 4. No wound. And now my Reaver is going to attack over here. He's got 3 attacks because he's got the combat knife, hitting on a 3. That is 3 hits, wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound. 5 up save. No, is he out of action? He is not, takes a flesh wound. All right, so that is it for turn 1 here. We would have to take 2 nerve tests here for those guys, but they're within synapse range, so they are good to go. So that is going to be it for the turn here. We'll now roll off to see who will have initiative going into turn 2. I rolled a 3, my opponent rolled a 6, so we'll come back to you after a movement phase for the Tyranids. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 2. These guys all here readied themselves. These 3 guys moved up over this way. He readied himself. He readied himself. The little Termagant down there readied himself. This guy back here advanced so that he is just around the corner from my leader, which is pretty good. And that is going to be it for those. Now we are going to have some charges. So which one do you want to start with?
All right.
We'll come back to that. All right, his Lictor is going to charge into both my guys over here, rolling for Overwatch. Getting no hits, so his charge distance is totally in. His combat specialist is going to charge into my combat specialist. He's in. All right, so now his Gene Stealer here is going to charge into my guy with the bolt carbines. That is going to be no hits. His charge distance fails, but he gets to reroll because of Swift and Deadly that we forgot about last turn. Still doesn't make it. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 2. My leader moved back over here so he could see the Gribbly that he heard scratching around the corner over there. These 2 guys readied themselves. These guys were locked in combat because they got charged. He stayed in combat over here. Both of the guys with the carbines readied themselves, and now my lieutenant is going to charge into the Gene Stealer here, into his little Gribbly there, and into the Gene Stealer over there. So, Overwatch from the little Gribbly over there. So, hitting on a 6. That is a hit. Strength 4, toughness 4, looking for a 4 to wound. No wound. So his charge distance is totally in with 2 fill faces. All right, so start of the shooting phase. His gunner here is going to fire into my sniper. So he's got D3 shots. It's going to be 2 shots. These are going to be obscured, but within half range, so hitting on a 5. 1 hit. Strength 8, so 2 to wound. That is a wound. AP minus 2, so 5 up save. No save there, so D3 wounds. 3 wounds, so that's going to take him down to see if he is 3 rolls on the injury test here. And he is out of action with that 5. All right, so now my comm specialist is going to fire into the dude bro here. None of his special things help him. They only help guys next to him. So here we go. 2 shots hitting on 4s. Nope. This guy here is now going to fire into my dude bro up there, my comm specialist. 3 shots hitting on 6s because of range and that. So here we go. Wounding on a strength 4, so 4 to wound. No wound. My dude bro down there with the carbine is going to shoot into his little Gribbly over here. 2 shots on 4s because he's obscured. Woo, nothing. Second guy over here is going to fire into my comm specialist. Here we go, 6s. No, nothing there.
To repeat.
My other guy with the carbine is going to shoot into the little Gribbly over there. 4s to hit. 1 hit. That is not a wound though. All right, 3rd Gribbly over here shooting it into him on 6s. No hits. So now this little Gribbly here who's ready is going to fire into my guy over there. That is a hit. That is not a wound though. And then that little Gribbly guy is going to shoot into my carbine guy on a 6. No hit. This front guy here is now going to fire into my guy up here. Now we're into the regular shots. It's going to hit on a 6. No hit. I'm going to go with my leader over here shooting into his dude bro over here. So this is going to be hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 1 hit. That is not a wound. Second guy is going to shoot into him over here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hit. That is not a wound. And then my guy down here is going to shoot his heavy bolt pistol into his Gene Stealer there. That is a hit. That is not a wound. 3rd guy here is going to fire into my guy. That is not a hit. All right, so into the fight phase now. I am going to spend 2 CP for Decisive Strike. My opponent also spent 2 CP for Decisive Strike. So now we will roll off to see who will have the Decisive Strike. I rolled a 4. My opponent rolled an 8, so he will go first. All right, so now this Lictor is going to attack into my Reaver over here. He's going to have 3 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Yes, 3 hitting on 3s.
He hits on 2s.
Hits on 2s. Sorry, hitting on 2s. Into my guy. These are going to be with the Rending Claws. So that is 3 hits. Strength 4.
Yep.
All right, looking 6, strength 6. So looking for 3s to wound.
Minus 1 AP and 1 damage, and you know the deal.
Yep, all of it. All right, so wounding on 3s, so we got 1 wound, but it's at AP minus 4, so that's going to go straight through for 1 damage. So 1 damage, so he takes 1 wound.
But then you get.
All right, then my opponent's going to spend 1 CP for Lead by Example, which is a leader tactic, which allows now another model within 3 inches of him to fight now, basically interrupt with it. So he's going to do his combat specialist there into my combat specialist. So he's going to have 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. All right, getting 3 hits. These are going to be strength 4, looking for 4s to wound. Getting no wounds. All right, so because I spent that the Decisive Strike, I could finally go third with my guy down here into his Gene Stealer. So it's going to be 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 3 hits, wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound. 1 at 5 up save. No, +1 on this roll because he's already wounded. With a 5, he's out of action. All right, so then we've got my charge here with my Lieutenant. He's a melee specialist who's going to have 5 attacks. These are going to put 3 into the Gene Stealer you charged and 2 into the regular Gaunt there. So 3 attacks into the Gene Stealer. These are going to be hitting on 2s. So that's going to be 3 hits. Strength 4, toughness 4, looking for 4s to wound. 1 wound. 5 up invul save. No, does not make it. Is he out of action? No, takes a flesh wound. 6. And then 2 into the Gaunt over here. That is not. That's 2 hits. That is 2 hits. I forgot he hits on 2s. I almost had a conniption there. So here we go. Wounding on. He's toughness 3, so 3s. That is 1 wound. AP minus 3. He gets no invul save, so he is going to be injury roll, and he is out of action. Now his Gene Stealer is going to attack into my Lieutenant over here. 3 attacks, hitting on 4s though, because he's got the flesh wound. Those are all hits. Wow. Here we go. Strength 4, toughness 4. Oh, that's all wounds, and that 6 is going to be AP minus 4. So that's going to go straight through for 1 wound. And I've got 2 others here that are going to be 4 up saves. And I make 1, fail 1. All right, my combat specialist is going to attack into his Lictor over here. He's going to have 5 attacks because he's got 3 base as a Reaver Sergeant, +1 for the combat knife, +1 for being a combat expert. So these are going to be 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is all hits. Strength 4, toughness 4. So looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound. All right. So 1 wound, AP nothing on him. 1 second. All right, so he's got a 5 up save.
So no AP?
Yep, no AP.
Okay.
Which one was this?
And he's good. And then I've got the regular guy going into his Lictor. That is 3 hits. That is no wounds. All right, and that is it for the second turn over here. That's it for the second turn here. So we will. Nobody who is not within Synapse has to take a nerve test. So we will now roll to see who will have the advantage going into turn 3 over here. So roll a 5. My opponent rolled a 3, so I'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here. He moved up here, used his grapnel launcher, and shot across over this way. This guy also shot up over here with his grapnel launcher. This guy's going to charge. They stayed in combat, as did my Lieutenant. And then my comm specialist readied himself, and my leader is now going to charge into his Gene Stealer. And I'm in. And then my guy down here is going to charge into him and into these 2 guys up here. It would be a 10-inch charge in there, like a 1-inch charge over here. So his charge over there, our Overwatch, that does hit. Wounding on a 4. That is a wound. With a fill face save. Woo! And then his charge distance is just going to get him to the ground guy. All right, movement phase. These guys all readied themselves over here. These guys stayed in combat over here, and the little guy readied himself. This guy got charged. These guys moved, so they're 1 inch away from him over here. He got charged, and now his commander over here is going to charge into my commander over there. So he needs a 10-inch charge. Makes it. Comm specialist is going to start us off by shooting into his gunner. 2 shots, 1 hit. No wound. Ready dude bro down there is going to fire into my dude bro up here. So he's going to have 1 shot, needs 6 to hit. That is a hit. 4 to wound. That is a wound. But that is a save with a full first. Woo! Alright, this guy's now going to shoot into him with 3 dice. He is not obscured from where he's at, and he's obviously within half range, so hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits. 2 wounds. Whoa, 2 saves.
Nice. I don't know.
Second guy here is going to do the same thing into him over here.
The Despoter has -1. Right?
Yeah.
Y'all are having enough trouble, so
That is going to be 1 hit. 1 wound. 1 save. This guy over here is going to shoot into this guy up here. So looking for a 6.
I didn't do a good job.
Getting no hits. Gunner guy is going to shoot into my comm specialist. D3 shots. 3 shots. He's going to be hitting on 5s. Because he's obscured. No hits. Alright, he's going to spend a command point to reroll one of those. Into a hit. Wounded on 2. That is a wound. AP -2. That is not a save. D3 damage. 2 damage. So that will take him down. Let's see if he gets out of action. 2 damage because it was 2 damage. So 2 of them. And with that 6, he's out. Alright, so now we're going to start with this guy over here. He's going to shoot into my dude bro over here. So 1 shot on 4. No hit. So now I'm going to shoot back with my guy into the middle one, the one that hasn't shot yet. No hits there. Alright, so now the middle guy is going to shoot into me, the one that I just shot there. That is not a hit. This guy over here is going to fire 2 shots into the left guy over there. That is 2 hits. That is 2 wounds.
-1.
No AP on this.
Oh, I can save on 6s.
2 6-ups.
Here we go.
No. And he is out of action. Last guy over here is going to shoot into my guy.
Is it a 5?
A 5 because he's obscured there.
That's why I did the scorch road.
No. All right, my guy there is going to shoot his heavy bolt pistol into the lictor.
Face.
That is a hit. That is not a wound. And my combat specialist into his combat specialist. That is not a hit. All right, into the fights phase. We both spent 2 CP for decisive strike again. So let's see who gets it. My opponent gets a 9. I get a 6. So we'll come back to you after his attacks. All right, so his Tyranid Prime is going to attack into my lieutenant over here. He's going to have 5 attacks because of the 2 bone swords, hitting on 2s. That is going to be all but 1 hit there. 4 hits. These are going to be strength 5. So looking for 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds.
-1.
AP -1. So these are going to be looking for 4-up saves. Making them both. Woo! So now my lieutenant's going to attack into him over there. 5 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 2s. So that's all but 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 4 or 5. He's toughness 5, so looking for 5s to wound. Getting 3 wounds at AP -3.
I can save on 6s.
Can save on 6s, so 3 6-ups.
I have no rerolls.
Makes 1 of them, so he takes 2 wounds. And then we go into the charges. So my guy over here is going to fight into his guy there, into his scout there. So it's 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's 3 hits. 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound. 5-up save. No, is he out of action? On a 1, he's not. He takes a flesh wound. All right, so I've got another charger over here, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That's a wound. AP nothing, so his regular 6-up save. No, is he out of action? He is not. Takes a flesh wound. And now my combat specialist is going to attack into his leader over here. 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 2 wounds, regular saves. So 2 5-ups. Makes them both. So now his lictor is going to attack into my reaver over there. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Oh, 2s, right? So that's going to be 1 hit. Wounding on a strength 4. That's a wound. With a 6 is rending claws. So that's going to go straight through. So that's going to be into an injury roll because he's already had 1 wound on him. On a 6, he's out of action. So now his Gene Stealer is going to attack into my lieutenant over here. 3 attacks. That is going to be 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound, AP -1, 4-up save. He's good. So now his combat specialist is going to attack into my combat specialist. He's got a flesh wound, so it's going to be 4 attacks. Hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. That is 1 wound, AP -1, 4-up save. He's good with a fill first. So now the scout guy is going to attack over here. 3 attacks hitting on 4s because he's flesh wounded. Getting 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound. With a save. And this little dude bro is going to attack into me over here. That is a hit, maybe? We'll check.
4.
Yep, that's a hit.
No. That's not
No. Because he has a flesh wound, so it would be 5, so no, he doesn't get it. All right, so that's the end of the 3rd turn here. So we are now going to move into the morale phase at the end here. 1 guy has to take a test over here. He's got a leadership 9, and he has 3 guys out there. So actually, no, 3 guys out there, he's fine. He's good, because even on a 6, can't fail on. So that is the end of the turn there. So we're going to roll to see who has the initiative going into turn 4. I rolled a 5, my opponent rolled 11, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids. Tyranid movement phase, everyone who was in combat stayed in combat. Everyone who wasn't in combat readied themselves. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for Tyranids. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels. All right, so once again for me, everyone who was in combat stayed in combat. Everyone who wasn't readied themselves. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you at the shooting phase. Warrior here is going to fire into which guy? We're going to go into this guy over here. So it's D3 shots. Getting 2 shots. These are going to be not obscured and half range. So he's going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 2. That is a wound.
-2.
AP -2, so 5-up save. Oh, he's good with a 5. Woo! And this guy here is going to shoot into his warrior over there. 2 shots hitting on not 1s and 2s. All right, little pooper down there is going to shoot into my guy up here on a 6.
Nope.
Nope. And my guy here is going to shoot into his warrior again. That is 2 hits. And that is 2 wounds. Here we go. 2 regular saves. 4-ups. Makes 1, fails 1, takes a wound.
3 of them.
All right, this guy's going to shoot into him. That is 2 hits. That is no wounds. This guy's also going to shoot into him, but these are going to be hitting on 5s because he's obscured.
You got it.
Getting 1, no hits. And now these 3 guys are going to go 1 at a time shooting into my guy over here. So we'll do the 2 that are unobscured first. So the first one is a hit. That is a wound, but that is a save. The next guy is not a hit, and the last guy on a 5. That is a hit.
Come on.
That is not a wound. All right, this guy's going to shoot a pistol into his Gene Stealer. Whoa, on a 2 will not hit. This guy's going to shoot his heavy bolt pistol. That is a hit. That is a wound. AP -1 is just going to go straight through, right? Because he's only got 6-up save. Yep, so here we go.
And he already has a wound.
+1, another flesh wound. All right, my guy down over there is going to shoot into his combat specialist. That is a hit. That is not a wound. And then my lieutenant's going to shoot his bolt pistol into his commander. That is a hit. That is a wound. Regular save. 3-up. He's good. And yet again, we find ourselves in the fight phase. Yet again, we both are using decisive strike. So we will roll off. See who goes first. I get a 7. My opponent gets 6, so I will go first. All right, my lieutenant's going to attack into his leader over here. 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is all hits. Looking for 5s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. My opponent is going to spend 1 CP for Lookout Sir, which is a command attack. So failed saving throws. So these are going to be 6-up saves because these are AP -3. So 2 6-up saves. Failed 1 of them, and he's going to spend a CP to go onto the Gene Stealer over there. So let's see if he is out of action.
Yep.
+1, he's out. All right, so now his leader's going to use his decisive strike to attack into my combat specialist. 3 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is 3 hits. He's with the rending claws, wounding on. That is going to be going straight through. +3s. No, he's strength 4, so it's just going to be the 1 going straight through for a wound. All right, so now his guy back over here is going to attack. He's going to have 3 attacks, hitting on 4s because he's flesh wounded. No hits.
Got flesh wounds.
All right, so now my combat specialist is going to attack into his combat specialist, hitting on 3s. Oof, that is not great. So just 2 hits, wounding on 4s. That is 2 wounds, 2 5-ups.
Come on.
Makes them both. So this guy down here is going to attack into me, hitting on a 6 because he's got 2 flesh wounds. No. My leader's going to attack him over here. That is going to be 1 hit. That is not a wound.
I bet it is.
Combat specialist attacks into my dude bro over there. So it's going to be 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. 1 hit, wounding on a 4. That is a wound. 4-up save. No, does not make it. So now roll if he's out of action. On a 3, he is not. And now my guy down here gets to go. 3 attacks. That is 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds. 6-up saves. 2 of them. No. Is he out of action? +2 is finally out of action. And now his leader is going to attack. Commander is going to attack into my commander. He's got 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is all hits. These are strength 5. So looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 1, 2, 3 wounds at AP -1. 4-up saves. Failed all of them. Oh no. Well, okay. Roll to see if he is out of action. Just on the 1 is 1 damage. So let's see if he's out of action. This is a 4-up. He's dead. This could be the game right here.
I'm closing my eyes.
Oh boy. On a 3, he takes a flesh wound. And that is the end of turn 4. We have 1 morale test to take over here because he's out of synapse. He's got 5 guys out of action over there. He's got a leadership of 9, so 5 plus. 5 plus. What are you gonna roll? You have to roll. Just roll the dice. On 5 plus 5 is a 10, so he does fail his leadership roll over there. He is shaken over here. And then we have. That is the only one. The other ones are in synapse range. Technically, I would have to roll to see. Oh, I've got one guy over here who has to roll. So he has a flesh wound over there. +4. 4 plus 3 is 7. He is good to go. But technically, I would have to roll to see if I was broken at this point because I've got 4 guys out and 1 with a flesh wound. But the rules for this mission specify that as long as our leaders are in action, they don't have to worry about it. Oh, I guess my guy also has to roll. So 4 plus 5 on my dude there. So 9. Ooh, that might be out. Hold on. Yeah, that was a fail. So I have to roll again because of "and they shall know no fear." With a 3, he's good. Okay, whoa. That was scary there. But like I was saying, this mission specifies as long as our leaders are not dead, that you are not broken no matter how many you lose. But the second they are dead, you automatically are broken. So in this mission, we're both unbroken and aren't rolling for break. So that is going to be it for the turn here. We will now roll off to see who will have initiative going into turn 5 and possibly. Oh no, this turn 4. That might have been the last turn. So let's roll to see if it is over. Roll 1 die. On a 6, it goes on. So now we will roll to see who has initiative in turn 5. I rolled a 7, so I will go first. So we'll come back to you with the movement. All right, movement for the Dark Angels here. He stayed in combat. He readied himself. He zip-lined up on top over here. He readied himself. This guy stayed in combat, and as did my lieutenant. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids. All right, movement phase. These guys readied themselves. They readied themselves. He readied himself. The little gribbly guy and everyone else that is in combat stayed in combat. So we will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, this guy is ready. He's going to fire into his warrior here. 2 shots, hitting on 3s.
Point blank range.
That is 2 hits. That is 2 wounds. 2 4-up saves. Makes 1, fails 1. The warrior now is going to fire into this guy over here. D3 shots. He's going to have 1 shot hitting on a 4, right? That's a hit. Wounding on a 2. No wound. This guy is now going to shoot into his warrior over here. That's going to be one. No hits because he's obscured. All right, this guy here is going to fire into my dude bro up on the walkway there. That's one hit. These are now going to be. This is going to be wounding on a 4. No wound. Rinse and repeat with this guy over here. That is going to be one hit. No wound. This guy is going to shoot into him over here. That is a hit. That is a wound. That is a save. These two guys are going to go into this guy over here. First one. Hit. No wound. Second guy. Hit. That is a wound. But that is a save with a filfers. And this guy down here is going to shoot into my dude bro up over here. That is not a hit. So now this guy is going to fire with his heavy bolt pistol into his warrior over there. On a 6, that's a hit. On a 3, that's not a wound. My leader over here is going to fire his pistol. That's a hit with a fill face. That is not a wound. He's going to shoot into the combat specialist. That is a hit. That is not a wound. And then my lieutenant's going to shoot into his Tyranid Prime with a hit. And a wound with a fill face. So he's got one regular save over here on your Tyranid Prime. So 3 up.
Also, you notice a +1 longsword.
Oh, he's good. All right, into the fight phase. We both spent CP, 2 CP on Decisive Strike, so let's see what happens here. I rolled a 9, my opponent rolled a 6, so we will come back to you with my attack. All right, so now my melee specialist lieutenant's going to attack into his leader over there, or his commander. That is going to be all hits, wounding on 5s. Getting 1 wound, AP -3, so 6 up save. He's good. All right, so now his dude bro is going to attack into my lieutenant over here. So he is going to spend 1 CP on Duel of Honor here. It's commander tactics, so he gets to reroll everything. So it's going to be 5 attacks here. These are going to be hitting on 2s. All hits. Strength 5, so wounding on 3s. All wounds, didn't need it, but doesn't make a difference here. 4 up saves. I failed at least one of them, so here goes his out of action +1 on this roll. So needing to roll a 3. 3 up, and my commander's out of it. Here we go.
You recognize it as a
Boom, he is out of action. All right, and that's where we're going to call this game, because at that point, the way the mission works is you got 1 point if you kill the commander, and that's the only way you can score points. At the end of this turn, I will be broken regardless. So even if we went on to a turn 6, a final turn 6, I don't think I would have enough guys and enough force that I would be able to do anything to kill his commander. So that is going to be a Tyranid victory. The rest of this kill team is probably going to gather their dead and then make their way back out to the rest of the Dark Angel force to regroup and figure out where they go next. So a brutal game. There was some major swings that were super awesome and hilarious. I spent every single one of my CP on Decisive Strike. It was nuts. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. Neil is my opponent, and he is the one that made all of this terrain, which is super awesome. Looks really incredible. All of it is by hand, which is blows my mind. It's not like he took like existing terrain and just painted it really nice. All of this was made by hand. He's got spinning blades in there. These actually, if you have lights inside of them, they can light up from the inside. It's super cool, super cool. You got the chains down here. Everything looks incredible. So, and it's all modular, or a lot of it's modular here with bits and pieces that can go here. And all of this was hand done, which is incredible too. If you look at just like the geometry of that, super cool looking, super awesome. And I'm super thankful that he would allow me to play on this, let alone for the channel. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I've been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Neil, and until next time, have fun.